On October 15th, 2016, I did the Falcon of Spain program in Roswell, Georgia. Right, it's a northern suburb of Atlanta. It actually went really well. In fact, one of the things that I had been working on, I've been actually developing this thing for the last almost 8 months now, maybe more. Right now, my objective with the Falcon of Spain, like the long-term vision, is for me to produce a graphic novel. Some of you might be thinking comic book superhero, and that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm actually thinking about a graphic novel in the form of an actual literature, actual piece of literature that one can use to tell a story. So I think a great example, if you haven't checked it out, this when I was in Atlanta, I actually bought this one graphic novel called Indeh, which is about the Apache Wars. It's written by illustrated by Greg Ruth, who's a famous artist among graphic novelists and in the comic book world, and it is also written by Ethan Hawke, who is the actor, screenwriter, director, all that good stuff. Recently, he was featured in the movie not Seven Samurai, The Magnificent Seven, which is a Western, which is actually a reimagining of the classic cinematic masterpiece known as The Seven Samurai. So, but anyway, Ethan Hawke and Greg Ruth got together and produced this story about the Apache Wars, centered around the character of Geronimo. And it's a hardcover book. It's fantastic. When I saw that, I picked it up and I was like, this is what I want the Falcon of Spain to be. As you make progress, you get more clear about your goals and the vision that you have. So that's the ultimate, what I really want to be able to produce. Now, along the way, one of the milestones, and me teaching this in Atlanta was the accomplishment of one of the milestones that I had. But the next milestone is for me to be able to share this program, share this story in maybe about 10 cities, but the target is to present it to 1,000 people live. So I'm 80 done, right? We had 80 people in Atlanta, which is fantastic. And so I want to do 1,000 people. I'm estimating 10 to 15 live events, maybe sooner. So, and so when we do that, that's going to be another milestone that would allow me to at least generate enough awareness. Some of you might be wondering, okay, what is this Falcon of Spain? What does it got to do with anything? And whenever people talk about Muslim civilization and Islam in Spain, Islam in Andalus or Andalusia, there's really few things that people know of. Maybe somebody might be familiar with the name or the person who initially opened it, which was Tariq bin Ziyad, right? And then they might be familiar with or might have heard of Abdurrahman ad-Dakhil, or the Falcon of Quraysh, or Falcon of Quraysh, Sakr Quraysh, or Falcon of Spain. The next thing that they really know about is, okay, there was a time period of the Golden Age, and you have what do you have? You have like inventions and things like that, and then beyond that, they know about the reconquest or the conquering or reconquering of Spain by Queen Isabella and Ferdinand, or at least even before that, there was a campaign to do that. And then something happened in 1492 about Columbus sailing the ocean blue, and Granada falling, and Constantinople being conquered, and all that other good stuff. And something about finding another trade route to India for some reason. For those of you who are familiar with history, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this is really all that people know about. But this time span is over 800 years. It's almost a millennia, right? And this is one of the reasons I think people hate history. And one of the hypotheses that I have is well, why don't we, instead of sharing history, why don't we focus on the stories and the epics of individuals? So my thought was, with this story, with the Falcon of Spain, is to share a sliver of that, which is maybe the crux of the story is maybe a matter of 2 years, but with the background context and everything in terms of who this character is, it would be covering about maybe about 25 years or so in terms of what is happening in this story, in this presentation. But the actual story itself takes place over the course of maybe 2 years. So, and now this is basically what I'm presenting. Not a lot of people know about Falcon of Spain, much less Islam in Spain or Andalus or Andalusia or whatever. So it would be good to give some context. And when I picked up that graphic novel, Indeh, the Apache Wars, the subtitle itself gives the appropriate context as to what it is. It's about the Apache Wars, American history, all that good stuff. So I was like, you know what, the Falcon of Spain, granted, you know it's about Spain or something about Spain. So what is it actually, but what's the context, historical context? Now I have a description, and the description is that this is the story of a Syrian refugee who escaped persecution at the hands, or escaped genocide at the hands of people wielding black flags, who came to the West, rose up as a leader of its people in 8th century Spain. So, or in the 8th century. So that's kind of like the crux. It very much mirrors some of what is happening right now and today in terms of world events and things like that, with ISIS and the Syrian refugee crisis and all of that. So there is that familiarity with in terms of connection, but to give it real context as to what it's about, I was thinking about, okay, what can we talk about? Is it the origin of Islam in Andalus? And that just sounded way too religious. And so I didn't want it to be, because it's not a religious program. If anything, it's a non-religious program. It's an epic story. So I was thinking about, what about the beginnings of Muslims in Andalus? I was like, no, it's not really. I mean, maybe less than 40% of the story is in Spain. In fact, it's the story of him escaping genocide and working towards seeking revenge. So then I thought to myself, okay, what is the story really about? What are we following? It's a journey. Boom, it hit me. The Falcon of Spain, one man's conquest of Andalusia. And so that's what the actual program is, what's going to be titled Moving Forward. So I am really, really looking forward to bringing this to your cities. I'm currently speaking with a couple of folks. I'll keep you guys updated as new cities are added. But if you want to stay updated about this, please do. If you're watching this on Facebook or whatever, then press like, and make sure you make it. You press and hold that option where you get the drop down, and it says "See this first." So press that and click it. So this way, if they have any updates and whatnot, you'll be able to see it first. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. Please subscribe. Right. This way, I'll be adding more content, keeping you guys updated. Got a couple of different projects, but this is one of the things that has been gaining momentum as I've been continuing to work on it. And also, as if you want to stay, if you rather prefer email or whatever, in addition to social media, then definitely hit up countercultureway.com. So go ahead, go to the website, put in your email address, and I'll keep you updated via email as to the happenings of what's going on. So with that said, thank you for joining. May you be blessed with peace, safety, security, prosperity, and freedom now and the days to come. I'll see you soon.